The United States will remember this day in which it was singled out for attack in the General Assembly for the very act of exercising our right as a sovereign nation. We will remember it when we are called upon to once again make the world's largest contribution to the United Nations. And we will remember it when so many countries come calling on us, as they so often do, to pay even more and to use our influence for their benefit.
That was U.S. Ambassador Nikki Haley speaking moments before the United Nations General Assembly voted overwhelmingly to condemn President Trump's decision recognizing Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. The UN rebuked the U.S. during a rare emergency session after the U.S. vetoed a similar motion at the Security Council on Monday. The measure stopped short of calling out President Trump by name, but it does convey, quote, deep regret over recent decisions on Jerusalem. Nikki Haley vowed that the U.S. would be watching the vote and, quote, taking names. President Trump echoed that sentiment.
I like the message that Nikki sent yesterday at the United Nations for all of these nations that take our money and then they vote against us at the Security Council, or they vote against us potentially at the Assembly. They take hundreds of millions of dollars and even billions of dollars, and then they vote against us. Well, we're watching those votes. Let them vote against us. We'll save a lot. We don't care. But this isn't like it used to be, where they could vote against you and then you pay them hundreds of millions of dollars and nobody knows what they're doing.
Well, that throws down the gauntlet. Joining me now, Israeli Ambassador to the UN, Amb Danon. Ambassador, great to see you. You were together with me the week that the decision was made by the president. We watched together. Your thoughts? 128 countries jumping on board with the United States was wrong.
Good afternoon, Harris. We saw another session of Israel bashing, but this time it was Israel and the U.S. We think we look at the numbers, the Palestinians expected to see more countries accusing the U.S., accusing Israel for creating instability, but it didn't happen. 65 countries did not support this resolution. It was a short session compared to what we expected, and I think people understand that we need to move on. We need to start to talk directly with the Palestinians, but unfortunately the Palestinians like to come to the UN, like to have those debates, long speeches. It's not helpful. We believe in direct negotiations, not in what we just saw in the General Assembly.
Yeah, and I think you're counting the abstentions today, Mexico among them, in terms of people who just simply didn't vote, plus the 9 who voted with us, a very short list. But, you know, I'm looking at that 128, and I'm curious, because on that list, Ambassador, Japan, Ireland, France, Great Britain, Greece, Norway, why?
Well, Harris, for you, maybe it's hard to understand. I'm used to that you have in the UN the public UN and the private UN. Publicly, they would speak against Israel. Privately, when I speak with those ambassadors, they know that we are a strong democracy. They appreciate Israel. They even admire Israel. And I tell them, how dare you come and speak about the connection between the Jews and Jerusalem. Jerusalem is our capital for 3,000 years, and no UN resolution can deny our connection to our eternal capital.
Wow. You just said a mouthful there. That was chilling, Ambassador. There is a private and a public UN. Very public today, and I'm going to read a few more names that are on that list. The Netherlands as well, who are voting and saying that this country and our president in the United States got it wrong in terms of recognizing the capital that you have had in Israel since the dawn of your nation. How does it play inside the UN? You're standing right outside. How do you deal with that?
Well, at least they didn't speak today in the General Assembly. And those countries who spoke today were like North Korea, Syria, Yemen. Those great democracies, Harris, come to preach to the U.S. and Israel what to do, how to handle our democracy. It's absurd. It's ridiculous. It's pathetic. But we are strong. We will continue to work with our American allies. We are grateful for President Trump, for Ambassador Haley, for taking the right stand and supporting Israel. And when we look at the history, we know that when you take the right stand, it pays off. President Truman did it in '48. President Trump did it now in 2017.
Ambassador Amb Danon to Israel outside our United Nations, where they voted en masse to tell us that we were wrong, to stand with you on the issue of where your capital should be and our strong decision to move our U.S. Embassy from Tel Aviv to that city you recognize, Jerusalem. Thank you, sir, for joining us.